Welcome to the regular meeting of the South Haven City Council. Today is Monday, March 16th, 2026, and this meeting is called to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This evening's invocation is by Christina Fleming of Casco United Methodist Church.
Please join me in a spirit of prayer. God of grace, we are so grateful that you guide us to service. And we are so grateful that we have so many people among us who are called to serve not only as elected officials, but also as first responders in the room and as neighbors gathered to speak out or to hear more about their neighbors tonight. We thank you that you pour into this room a spirit of listening, and we are grateful for both the history of South Haven and its dynamic present, a history that always celebrates the other, a place known to be a place for Jewish people from all over the Midwest, and a place now, when you look at the stages of our high school, that is rich with diversity and so many experiences. In this meeting tonight, may we be known as amazing listeners and people who always are continued to be dedicated and rooted in your guidance of humility and service and loving our neighbor. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. Megan, could we have a roll call, please?
Of course. Jeff Arnold.
Here.
Tom Capps.
Here.
Dave Flack.
Here.
Mary Hosley.
Here.
Eddie Polk.
Here.
Letitia Wilkins.
Here.
And Annie Brown.
Here. Thank you. Are there any conflicts of interest? Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I move to approve the agenda.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? The agenda is approved. Thank you. Moving on to community updates.
Thank you, Mayor Brown. We do have Elizabeth Bernhard from the South Haven Regional Business Center, Hub, and she has a short presentation. I'll just get that queued up here.
Great. Thank you, Kate.
All right, good evening, and thank you, Mayor Brown and council members, for having me, and I want to thank Kate and Michael as well. I appreciate the opportunity to update you on our work at the South Haven Regional Business Hub, and I'm grateful for your partnership and your funding of our organization, because our partnership is integral to the success of our mission. I am going to be updating you today on why the Hub exists, our impact in 2025, our impact since our inception in 2023. I'm going to cover our core programs, which you are supporting, as well as give you a sneak peek into what we are covering in 2026. So to begin, why does the Hub exist? We got our launch because South Haven had the need for it. Every time a small business succeeds, they create jobs, they revitalize our downtowns, and they drive regional economic prosperity. They create local jobs and they increase wages. Our goal is simple. We will help businesses start, and we will grow and sustain their growth, because we know that every time a small business succeeds, our community succeeds. So I want to give you the updates for 2025. So as you'll see here, our startup series, and as I get into the core programs, I will define what these programs are. But for now, I just want to give you the numbers. In 2025, our startup series served 69 entrepreneurs. Our growth series, which is a 26-week series, served 7 growth stage organizations. We served 16 South Haven business leaders in our Strong Leader series, and I'm very proud of this number. Over 2,700 volunteer hours were provided directly to our clients from our community. This underscores Jim Hettinger's assertion that our retiree population is one of our community's greatest assets. Now, since our inception in 23, we have accomplished a lot together. As you'll see, we have served over 171 entrepreneurs. 50% of these are from South Haven. We have supported 89 businesses, and we've helped 28 businesses launch. Of these 89 businesses, 82 are still in business. This means a 92% business retention rate. What this proves is that with mentoring, education, and technical assistance, our small businesses succeed, far overcoming the national average of 50% of businesses will fail by year 5. So our collective impact is working. Now, our Startup Series, our core program. I mentioned we served 69 individuals this year. The Startup Series is 6 standalone sessions to provide technical education and assistance to entrepreneurs in the areas that they need the most to be successful. And these are free for entrepreneurs to come, and they are wildly successful. And you'll hear a success story for one of the individuals that we've served. Now, the Startup Series is a bit of a misnomer. If you look at that pie chart, this will tell you who we're serving. The majority of the individuals that come to the Startup Series have been in business for more than 3 years. That means that, and they don't just come to one session, they typically come to 1, 2, 3, or all 6. It's working. You'll see in the next slide that there is a quote or results from one of our sessions this year. The participants appreciate the education that they receive, and they would recommend it to other participants. Now, our Growth Series. This is our 26-week flagship program that provides up to 8 business owners with intensive support, providing them with one-on-one mentorship. So those volunteer hours that I mentioned, that's where this comes in. Our volunteers are paired one-on-one with each business owner, walking alongside them through those 26 weeks. And many of our business owners come to this program because of that direct mentorship. In addition, they are given extensive topics on education and technical assistance during those 26 weeks. And this, you'll see here that our 2026 Growth Series is coming back. Applications open April 1st. We encourage you to spread the word. Applications are due by May 13th, and then we start the program on June the 10th, and it runs through December. Now, our pitch this year will be December 2nd, and I'll get into a little bit more what the improvements we are making for the 2026 series. Our Strong Leader Series, our inaugural Strong Leader Series that we accomplished in December. We had 16 business leaders from the city participating, and we had strong representation from the employees with the City of South Haven, as well as Shays and other local organizations. You'll recognize many of them. And it's a 3-part series, and it was incredibly successful, so much so that you'll hear about what we're doing this year. So the Strong Leader Series directly aligns, again, with Jim Hettinger's work with the economic plan and with the Upjohn Institute's recommendation that the city invest in leadership training for its residents. So we are offering that in partnership with the city. And 100% of the attendees who had joined the Strong Leader Series met their goals. This is what they said. They got what they came for. I think these results are pretty impressive. You'll also see we have a very high recommendation rate from individuals who went through the program. 100% said they would highly recommend this series to others. So what are our 2026 next steps? In April, we are reconvening the Leadership Advisory Committee. We are planning on hosting a large community event to raise awareness of the opportunity, and we will be offering the sessions again in October. I'm very excited about this partnership. The next one is succession planning. We are currently at our midway point through succession planning. We heard from you at the city that our small businesses need succession planning. If you even look downtown South Haven, you can see why we need succession planning. If you think about businesses that have closed, we did one session in February. We've got another one Wednesday and another one in April. And you understand, you know the ramifications here. If our small businesses don't have a plan, they likely are to close, and 83% do not have a plan. So let's talk about succession planning. So you'll see here the next slide has the 2 dates that I mentioned, one Wednesday, again in April. And then also I want to highlight the numbers for the registrations we've seen for these series. Now these numbers I pulled last week. Every day, we're getting more and more registrations, both for this week and for the next session. So far, we've had 66 registrations, and 26 of these have been from South Haven businesses. And what I appreciate about this so much is that our chamber, the South Haven Area Chamber of Commerce, we encourage them to promote the program as their own. And because of that partnership, we're getting more numbers, because if you think about it, these are businesses at the end of the life cycle. We typically work with companies at the beginning. A success story. How many of you know Max with Drive with Max Transportation, right? Great guy. If you haven't met him yet, you've got to get to know him. He went through our 2025 Startup Series. He came to the first series. He came back for every single session. He is growing his business in an outrageous way. Last year, he drove over 50,000 miles. He became the preferred provider for our Icebreaker event in partnership with the Chamber. He has FTEs, and he's growing by leaps and bounds. And he's an entrepreneur that knows that if he's going to grow, he needs it with support. He's getting mentored by us. He's coming to our courses. Finally, in 2026, we will continue our programs that I just described. We are also doubling down on ensuring that our entrepreneurs can not just start, but they can be ready for our growth series, that we will be there every step of the way. Our growth series is going from 20 weeks to 26 weeks because we're adding in topics like AI. They're going to be creating SOPs because they need that. We're going to give them HR training. We're giving them more financial support. And we're launching a new thing called the Founder Circle, which is a peer support community for entrepreneurs who have been through the growth series. As well as we are launching electives in our growth series so that more community members can participate during the growth series. With that, I want to thank you again. Thank you again for the city's partnership. Your partnership is such an integral part of the work that we do and every day with our small businesses. And because of this partnership, you can see the numbers there, the numbers that we've served, the 82 businesses that are still in business, that they would not be here without your support. Similarly, the number of volunteers that are here because they're energized by what's possible for South Haven. So with that, I thank you, and I'll see if you have any questions.
Any questions? Go ahead.
Elizabeth, great job.
Thank you, David.
Wonderful work.
Thank
We're
you.
glad you're here doing it from here.
Thank you.
And the impact it's having locally is phenomenal, so thank you. Just a few quick comments. One, the startup, it would almost make more sense to go in as a third year to be, because you probably get more out of that training after you've gone through some things out there.
Yes.
And then you learn a lot more, I would suspect, on the back end of that.
Absolutely.
So I think that's great. Succession planning, we saw the president of Western Michigan University speak to Rotary last week. And one of the things he spoke about was teaching their business students using a private equity fund that's available on campus that actually has hundreds of millions of dollars in it.
Yes.
Where they're targeting succession planning companies who don't have a succession plan and taking those over on the west side of Michigan. So I thought that was really interesting that that's
Yes.
a place that you're going right now.
Yep.
Last, I couldn't help but notice that our city manager was in one of those photos.
Indeed.
And congrats to her for getting leadership training, and I guess it makes sense that she has very high employee feedback ratings every year. So good.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Just thank you, and I know that you work a lot with all the groups in town, and it shows great collaboration about the Business Hub, so thank you.
Thank you. Collaboration is one of our values.
I was wondering what other cities in Southwest Michigan are represented by entrepreneurs besides South Haven?
So all municipalities really within Southwest Michigan. Our focus is the 3 counties of Southwest Michigan, Berrien, Cass, and Van Buren. The majority of our participants come from Van Buren County, followed actually by Kalamazoo County, Allegan, and Berrien. But we get a strong representation, especially from Benton Harbor and St. Joe.
Oh, good. Great. Well, thanks again for being here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we have Van Buren County Commissioner Gail Patterson Gladney.
Hello. Okay. As you might have known, we have sad news at the county. Our Randy Pete, one of our commissioners, passed. I went to his memorial, and it was packed. That spoke of how well loved he is by his friends and family and his coworkers. We're going to really miss him. We had to replace him. We had to put out a news report that said that we were taking applications of who would like to serve in his district, District 5, and we had over 10 applicants. Very accomplished applicants, and the person that we voted for was Mike Toth. He served the county in the past, and he said that he would only serve for 1 year, and then he was stepping down so that the people in District 5 can vote for who they want for the next years, and they wouldn't have to run against an incumbent. So if anyone is interested if you know anyone in District 5, which is mainly Paw Paw Township and parts of Almena, then they have to apply with the county by April 21st. And so then they could run in the primary, and then in November, if they move on up, then they could run for Randy's seat. And so November 11th is the general election, and they will serve out Randy's term till the end of 2028. The board approved the January 2026 claims in the amount of over $4,419,000. And we further approved the annual borrowing resolution for the delinquent tax revolving fund, authorizing the county treasurer to borrow up to $8 million to provide cash flow for paying out delinquent real property taxes. Several updates were presented to the board, including the prosecuting attorney's annual report, and that was represented by Susan Zweiderveen. And also the information technology annual report presented by Director C.J. Johnson. The Veterans Service Department also provided an update reporting over 886 total contacts for fiscal year 26, and noting that the dental program has spent over $41,000 to date. Also, we have news that David Kresge has submitted his resignation letter to us, when we're really sorry to see him go. But right now, if anyone needs to contact the Veterans Service Department, they can contact Mike, and that's 269-657-8200, and his extension is 1614. And the county Veterans Service Office has done a great job in helping veterans, as some of you know. Also, I just wanted to reiterate about the Coastal Hazard Workshop, and some of you might have already signed up for that. That's going to be taking place from 2 to 4:30 on Tuesday, March 31st at WECO Beach House in Bridgman. And that's for the Coastal Leadership Academy Adaptation Strategies for Coastal Hazard Workshop. And it's a free workshop, and lunch will be provided. And I just wanted to mention, if you wanted to sign up for the event, you have to sign up by March 24th, which is coming up soon. And I will give the city manager a flyer. I think I gave you one in the past, but just in case you want another one. Mm-hmm. And Cass County is offering an informational session on data centers, March 26th, Thursday at 5 p.m. at 120 North Broadway Street in Cassopolis. Also, the Van Buren County Board of Commissioners had a presentation by our auditor, and the county received an unmodified opinion, which is the best opinion that you can receive. Our fund balance is healthy, 35%. Currently, though, we are a high risk because we had, as you might have known, we had quite a few finance directors in succession for a while, so we had to clean up some of the things that had happened in the past, make sure that any errors in our reporting was taken care of. And if you have a clean report in 2 consecutive years, then you can become a low risk. So hopefully we will continue to be on track for that. And our total expenditures were $29,300,000 approximately. Okay, Chris Shire has been working with the county. He's from DCS Technology, and he gave an update on broadband expansion. He's continuing to work with certain areas where we don't have the high-speed internet, and hopefully our whole county, once he finishes in those areas, our whole county will be able to service our residents. Our Community Mental Health Board has reappointed Carol Showquist and Mike Symes, and for 3-year terms. The Van Buren County Parks and Recreation Commission met last week, and they usually meet at 11 o'clock once a month. We had a presentation from Lawrence Parks and Rec, and they wanted to see if they could get some of the funding that we have. At this time, the Parks and Rec program is not quite complete as far as putting out information so everybody can bid on the projects. So we hope that if your Parks Committee is looking for finances, that you will be able to see if it's anything that the county can help with county parks. I will make sure to let you know in the future when we're starting to take applications for funding. And do you have any questions? No? Okay, well, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And next, the moment we've all been waiting for, the swearing in of Officer Joshua Hall.
Mayor, Council, this is the last full-time officer for South Haven PD. We are officially full. It's taken 4 or 5 years, I think, to get here. So Josh is coming to us from Van Buren Township PD, not Van Buren County. I know we're all very used to that. Van Buren Township is out by Ypsilanti and Ann Arbor area. He graduated from Eastern Michigan University in 2017 with a bachelor's degree in criminology and criminal justice and a minor in social work. We will put both of those degrees to work here in South Haven. He attended the Detroit Police Academy in 2019. He worked there for a year and a half before moving to Van Buren Township PD. Josh said he's looking forward to connecting with the community of South Haven and having a long, enjoyable career here. So we're very happy and excited to add him to our rank. Today was his first day in full uniform. He is officially in our field training program. So Josh can come up. Josh is going to be, his badge is going to be put on by his wife, Mercedes.
Thank you, Chief. I will let you know when to raise your right hand for me. As a law enforcement officer with the South Haven Police Department, my fundamental duty is to serve the residents and visitors of South Haven with integrity, fairness, and professionalism. I pledge to safeguard lives and property, to protect the innocent from harm, deception, and injustice, and to uphold the constitutional rights of all people, ensuring liberty, equality, and justice for all. I will keep my private life unsullied as an example to my fellow officers and the community. I will maintain calm and courage in the face of danger, scorn, or criticism. I will exercise self-restraint and remain ever mindful of the welfare, dignity, and rights of others. I will be honest in thought and deed in both my personal and official life, always obeying the laws of the land and the regulations of the South Haven Police Department. I will hold in confidence any information of a sensitive nature unless disclosure is absolutely necessary for the proper performance of my duties. I will never engage in corruption, abuse of authority, or any action that might discredit my badge, my department, or my profession. I will not tolerate such behavior in others, and I will speak out when integrity is threatened. I will work in partnership with law enforcement agencies, city departments, and community organizations to uphold justice and foster truth. I will continually strive to increase my knowledge, skills, and effectiveness as a law enforcement professional, knowing that I alone am responsible for maintaining the highest standards of performance. Please raise your right hand for me. Hands are a little full. I dedicate myself before God, my fellow officers, and the people of South Haven to the noble calling of public service through law enforcement. As a member of the law enforcement profession, having read this code of ethics, I fully understand it, and I do solemnly swear and affirm with no mental reservation to abide by it in both my official and private life to the best of my ability, so help me God. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Turn around though. We have a lot of young ones, like young officers with really young kids, and it makes me very happy mine are older.
Well, congratulations, and we're glad that you're here, and thank you for choosing South Haven.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, and you guys can sneak out.
It is now time for public comment. Excluding items scheduled for public hearing, you have up to 3 minutes. You can talk about items on the agenda, off the agenda, and this is the only time now to speak. So this is your time. Hi there.
Good morning. I'm Jacob. I'm with the Van Buren Conservation District, and I'm just here
Oh,
to give
good.
you a quick update. So we have our tree sale fundraiser going on right now. So that provides affordable seedlings to our community, that supports clean air and wildlife habitat. We're taking pre-orders until March 29th, and one of our pickup locations is Liberty Hyde Bailey Museum, so just outside of town a little bit. So that'll be April 10th and 11th. Also, we have recycling education events going on throughout the year, so just stay up to date with that. For instance, April 29th, we're doing a recycling facility tour. And then, of course, we have our South Haven Recycle Roundup. That is August 1st, 9 to 2 at your Public Works. So that's all I have for you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for everything you do.
thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm John Busma, 3 Willow Court. I'm here representing myself, my wife, several of our neighbors, Phil and Kim Rome, Jim and Kim Wetlaufer, Nancy Closter, Joe and Helen Tolson. And I'm speaking in opposition to item 11, I believe it is on the agenda, amending section 6227 of the Code of Ordinances for the city of South Haven. This proposed change would discourage South Haven citizens to apply for any and all board positions that open up. There are qualified applicants for the vacant planning commission meeting now. It is not necessary for one person to hold multiple municipal offices. Please do not amend section 6227 of the Code of Ordinances. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Bob Sherman, 250 North Shore Drive. And with all respect to John, I'm going to offer the opposing point of view. And I'm going to, regarding agenda item number 11 tonight, I'm going to encourage you to adopt the changes, approve the changes to section 62-27 of the City Code of Ordinances. That, as I'm sure you know, would delete the restriction on membership. Currently, members cannot serve on 2 boards simultaneously. And clearly that shrinks the pool of available candidates. in addition to the shrinkage of the pools, I can only speak for the Planning Commission, and Councilmember Hosley can certainly speak to this, as can Councilmember Polk. Planning Commission meets at least once a month. In many cases, this month, for example, we'll meet twice a month. It's not unusual for our meetings to go to 10 o'clock. The preparation time, research time prior to the meeting is very, very significant. So it's a demanding job. I'm sure other boards and commissions are as well, but I'm most familiar with planning. So with a shrinking pool of candidates and the difficulty and demands of the job, I think it's difficult to find experienced, capable people willing to serve on that. As I mentioned, I was personally sad when Eddie was elected to the city council, although I commended him, but that meant we lost a member of planning, and we're currently short one member because his seat has not yet been filled. So again, I'm going to encourage you to approve the change to Section 6227 and allow for membership on more than one board in South Haven. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening.
Jim Sankowski, 89 North Shore Drive, Bundy's Bakery. I wasn't going to come tonight, but I'm certainly glad I did. You know, I've been in hiring people in South Haven for over 40 years, 46 years probably, and then 41 of them on the north side of South Haven. And I really didn't know about the business hub, and I don't know if my wife did. She's in Australia. But I'm certainly glad I came tonight because Bundy's is facing growth issues, existing issues, continuing existing issues, which perpetuating the business into the future. It seems like that's what they're working at, is keeping the more and more people, businesses, when generations stop working, to find some way to keep them going with the next generation or next owners. And those are a couple of things we're facing. But I'm certainly happy I came down and heard the lady from the Business Hub speak. And, you know, it's, we'd like to really work with that succession and building the business. So Bundy's will be around here for quite a few more years, long after I'm gone. So thank you very much for having this Business Hub in the area. And I know when Rach gets back from Australia, we'll be contacting them and getting involved with them. And just thank you, everybody. Have a good evening.
Thanks, Jim. Any other comments? Good evening.
Melissa with Shores Vacation Rentals. First, because we've had so many meetings, I want to thank everyone because Luke and Megan, I know it's the whole team, but like have been on it since the last meeting. So I've seen a lot of stuff fall. So that's been fantastic. And I know it's a lot of work because I'm on the other side of it. I do have a couple questions from owners though. One of them is the insurance certificate. I've had a lot of people have a lot of problems with that. So if I could get some clarification on what that is. I had one couple have a friend that was an insurance agent. He's like, you shouldn't have that. That's for a business. And then they kind of stressed, so he created one for them. It's not something that you'd have. And then I had another one. He was with USAA and had to drop the insurance that he's carried for a very long time to get another insurance so that he could have the certificate. USAA that is known everywhere said it doesn't exist. It's something they would have to create. It's a commercial certificate. And so, you know, people are kind of, not everybody, and people are trying to work through it. You know, they want to get through it as fast as everything else, but these are questions that I'm going to continue to have as they're falling quickly that I need an answer for. Like why that certificate, and, you know, is it different for some than others, and why is that? So that would be great to know. And then hopefully we're getting an extension, even though they're falling quick. And if they do, like, what's the timeline? I've had a lot of questions on. And my understanding, and you can probably answer this quickly, is that in the end, it's going to be a wash, even though they have another certificate or something that they would need to get during the extension.
We
I'm
can't-
only understanding half of it.
We can't, first
Answer.
of all, you have 1 minute.
Okay.
Secondly, we can't answer your questions, but right after the meeting, Mike can help you and find out who's the right person
Perfect,
for you
or
to
shoot me
contact.
an email, either or, because that, I think that's it. So thank you guys for all your hard work.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other comments? If not, we are,
Joe Wilkins, 811 Indiana Street. I just want to piggyback on the first gentleman that came up and talked about on, I think it was section, topic number 11 on the agenda. One of the benefits of being here, living in this area for a long time, is that you've seen the transition of several council individuals coming on, going on. And one thing that I have noticed is that the highlighted committees in the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years have not lacked volunteers for those committees or boards. So I would disagree with the last gentleman where he mentioned that we have a lack of interest. Planning Commission, for the last 4 years of having applicants that couldn't get on. And the harsh reality is that the mayor gets to choose a lot of times who's going to fill these highlighted positions. And most of the time it's like-minded people. And we're losing diversity in that process. We're losing diversity. So I know my comments probably won't change the decisions that's going to be made tonight regarding that issue, the ordinance change. But I've been sitting here for the last 7, 8, 9 years, and when it came to planning and several other boards, there was no lack of people wanting to be on those boards. So I'm not sure where he's getting, the pool is shrinking. Especially for planning, we had people on deck that we had to fight to try to get an opportunity to be on planning. So Campbell was a result of us pushing to try to get somebody different on these boards. And so, yeah, when you start seeing board members 8, 9, 10, 15, I know we don't say much about the South Haven Housing Commission, but you have some people on that board for 15 years. And so you shouldn't have a resident 15 years on the board. And so, give other people a chance to serve on these boards. We'll get new way of thinking, fresh thoughts, fresh ideas, new set of eyes. I think all that is important. And when we lock it down to you all just making the choices, putting in who you want to put in, then we lose diversity and a lot of benefit from a lot of intelligent residents that would love to serve on these boards.
Thank you. Anybody else? We're moving on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda, items A through I?
I move to approve consent agenda items A through I.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, could we have a roll call, please?
Of course. Arnold?
Yes.
Capps?
Yes.
Flack?
Yes.
Hosley?
Yes.
Polk?
Yes.
Wilkins?
Yes.
And Brown.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Moving on to special business. Are there any items removed from the consent agenda? Nope. Are there items recommended by the Committee of the Whole for consideration by the City Council? Moving on to unfinished business. Number 11. Kate.
Thank you, Mayor. This again is a second reading. As we know, with ordinances, there's a first reading and a second reading. This is to amend Section 62-27, removing language that would prohibit a person sitting on the Planning Commission from holding another commission seat or office.
Dave, did you have any comments?
Not at this time. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Councilmember Hosley.
I would move to amend the proposed change. I would move to remove the stricken material, and after Zoning Board of Appeals, insert and Construction Board of Appeals. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Okay. Oh, Member Hosley.
Yes. So I appreciate everyone's comments. I focused most on Mr. Busama and Bishop Wilkins. Their comments were more consistent with my own personal experience. I applied for Planning Commission in '21, and members were reappointed. And since I believe it was 21, and since then, there have always been more applicants than there have been for the number of seats open on Planning Commission. With our community wanting to engage more people and more residents, having that the Planning Commission not be on more than one board ensures, I think, more people to be engaged, and especially in light of the comment that some of our Planning Commission meetings can last a few hours, that's actually a reason for them not to be on multiple boards because of the additional time that they would have for multiple boards. This amendment is then to allow for a member on the Planning Commission to be on the Construction Board of Appeals and the Zoning Board of Appeals. Both of those boards do meet infrequently, and if I remember correctly, I do not believe the Construction Board of Appeals has met for a few years. So this way, we actually have a win-win where members on the Planning Commission who do spend time, have a lot of obligation for preparation, are then solely dedicated to Planning Commission for the members appointed. And for those areas, Zoning Board of Appeals and Construction Board of Appeals, where more expertise is warranted, we do make that exception.
Any other comments? Mr. Capps.
Yeah, I would hate to just make those exceptions. I think that we should always look for the best person to do the job. Certainly we want diversity, but the Planning Commission is very complicated. It steers our whole system where we're going, and you do have to be qualified. Just because you have applicants doesn't mean they're qualified to do the job. So I think we should leave it open personally.
I have a question on that. I respect your comments, but I have a question. What makes a person qualified? Do we have something that says you have to meet these different criteria for the planning?
I think that's really up to the mayor. They're looking at the applications, and certainly Planning Commission, you have to know a lot of things as far as how the city runs, how they set up ordinances. We could probably ask Bob to come up here and tell us a little bit more of that. I don't think, and Eddie would certainly know. I haven't been on the Planning Commission, so I can't say all the qualifications they need, but I do think they're very important, and we should get the best person possible.
Again, with all due respect, what are the qualifications? We can't just say the mayor qualifies a person. We should have something listed. We have to, if we're going to be transparent, we can't just say, you're going to qualify the people. There needs to be something listed. So if that's the case, then people understand, well, I'm not going to apply for planning.
No, there are, for Planning Commission, they have taken a lot of training. They are trained, and then they have, on top of the training, they have a background. They've been involved in occupations that make them qualified too.
Okay, so, and I don't like to voice a lot, but I know there have been some people on the planning who have not been trained according to what you're talking about. There's been some people that have been on planning who haven't made one comment. So that lets me know that they're either not reading the materials, or they don't know what they're looking at or something, or they don't understand it. So again, we have to be transparent. If we're going to come up with these rules randomly, then for the community, there should be something listed for the people saying, this is what qualifies you to be on planning.
And there are some people on city council who have been quiet.
And I'm very quiet sometimes, but not right now.
Yeah, I can tell.
So
I appreciate that.
So I'm just saying, it's just frustrating because I'm listening to the community. There's people in the community who want to serve on the boards, and then to say, okay, I'm going to pick this person to serve on these two boards, but I'm not going to pick this person to be on a board. So again, we've been talking about being transparent. The community is already saying that we're not transparent, that everything is just a joke. I mean, you know that. And so we got to come up with something. Is there a reason you're giving me that look? Are you confused, or?
No, I'm not giving you that look for that I'm confused, but there is a process. So the Planning Commission, by state law, is the nominee of the presiding officer, which is the mayor, and that would be confirmed by the city council. The statute also goes into what makes a person qualified, or what the Planning Commission should consist of, and it's a wide variety of things. You're looking for diverse backgrounds, diverse professions. You're looking for a lot of different things that make up a lot of different parts of your community. So you're trying to have something that represents a little bit of everybody in the community. Is there anything you'd like to add, Dave?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
As Kate said, it is appointed by the mayor, subject to confirmation of the council, and the Planning Enabling Act largely leaves who's going to be on the Planning Commission up to the council. The council can always impose some sort of educational requirement or something like that, or encourage by the allocation of funding members to take certain training. The criteria per se in the Planning Enabling Act is it's general guidance and I would say somewhat aspirational, but it says the membership of a planning commission must be representative of important segments of the community, such as the economic, governmental, educational, and social development of the local unit of government, in accordance with the major interests of the local unit of government, such as agriculture, natural resources, recreation, education, public health, government, transportation, industry, housing, and commerce. The membership must be also representative of the entire territory of the local unit of government to the extent practicable.
Thank you. Do you have any other comments?
Okay, so you guys know that this is not right, because I know someone who applied for planning who is a retired teacher. So you're saying that she's not important enough to serve on the planning?
You should make sure that they have submitted their applications.
They have.
Okay.
So, and I hear what you're saying, and again, with all due respect, if you're saying that, and I understand it is her job to choose, but all I'm saying, if you guys saying you're looking, I heard the gentleman say that we don't have enough people applying for these open positions, then there's another person saying we do. So if we do, and there are people applying, and you're saying that there's a certain criteria, and I'm saying, okay, well, if they're educated people, they should be, I still don't think you should just say just educated people. Just because you have a degree doesn't mean that you're more important than the next person. So all I'm saying is that if a person can read and write and comprehend, it just seems like, to me, that they should be able to serve on a board.
We take all applications, and
I
then
hear
we
you,
put them
Kate.
to the mayor.
But we got to be honest.
And you could ask Megan and Kate. I've been in several times to review the applications. I do not see a shortage.
I don't either.
There's no shortage of people who have applied.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying that people are saying they're applying and they're not getting on. They're
Okay.
not getting an opportunity.
Okay.
Madam Mayor, if I may, two things. I just want to clarify for everybody in the room as to what the amendment is
Yes.
that is on the table. So currently, the draft of the ordinance would strike the following language. An appointed member shall not hold another municipal office except that one of the appointed members may be a member of the Zoning Board of Appeals. The amendment, as made by Member Hosley, would leave the language, so it would not strike anything, and it would amend the sentence such that it reads, an appointed member shall not hold another municipal office except that one of the appointed members may be a member of the Zoning Board of Appeals or the Construction Board of Appeals.
So it's more restrictive.
It allows members to serve on the Planning Commission and the Zoning Board of Appeals, and then adds an allowance for them to serve on the Planning Commission and the Construction Board of Appeals. That's what the
But
amendment
not
does.
other-
But not other boards,
So
correct.
it's restrictive.
Correct.
Okay, Mr. Arnold.
My plan, I'm probably not going to vote for Councilperson Housley's amendment because it reduces the pool. Bear with me. This is my second time serving on council representing Ward 2, and the first time that I served, we would have council meetings and no one would be here. We would have appointments for boards and no one would apply. So much so that we had to remove the term limits. Now, we are lucky that the pendulum has swung the other way and we have plenty of people interested in planning commission, and thankfully we have plenty of people in the audience and people watching from home. But if the pendulum goes back the other way, I don't want to hamstring us. I want to make sure that we have plenty of people that we can call on to serve on all of our boards.
Thank you. Okay,
Mayor, if I may. Jeff, if the
Mr. Black.
pendulum swung, I think that would be a great conversation. I'm still holding with my original position, which is I support the current charter language. I think in a community our size, it's healthy to encourage more residents to apply for positions and serve in leadership roles so that we build a pipeline of leadership in this community. So thank you.
thank you. Hello.
Hi.
Go
And
ahead.
Just a thought. I want to be clear. You have the authority to make the decision, right?
Pick the candidate.
Okay. You also receive the interested candidates, right?
Yes.
Do you go through a process, or do you have a process of how you determine who you feel is best qualified?
I go into the main office at City Hall and I read the applications. And I do it again whenever there are new applications. And they have to write on their application why they're qualified and what they would like to do for the city of South Haven. And they talk about their background, where they work, their experience working for the city. So it's almost like a resume.
Right.
And that's what I review to make a decision.
And no partiality is involved in your decision.
No.
I think we have to accept that.
You
We have to accept the, we have to accept
Okay,
accept the integrity.
excuse me,
I
excuse
don't
me,
have to accept nothing.
excuse me. Okay, you've heard the motion. This is Mary's motion. Do you want to read it again, Megan?
Absolutely. So the motion is to keep the stricken language, and after the ZBA or Zoning Board of Appeals, insert and the Construction Board of Appeals.
Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Of course. Caps?
No.
Flack?
Yes.
Hosley?
Yes.
Polk?
Ask the question again. What's the decision?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's to amend, to keep the stricken language, and after Zoning Board of Appeals, insert and the Construction Board of Appeals.
And this, just to clarify, this is the amendment Member Hosley made. We are not, once that gets approved, then we would have to have a motion or a vote on the language of the ordinance.
So this would only allow a member to serve on if the member Hosley's amendment is adopted, the ordinance would only allow a member of the Planning Commission to serve on the ZBA or the Construction Board of Appeals. If they served on any other body, they would not be eligible to serve on the Planning Commission.
Do you want us to move on?
Yes.
Mr. Arnold?
I thought that our new rules do not allow us to skip, that the person has to vote.
Okay.
Correct.
As I said, I think this is restrictive, and.
I don't think there's supposed to be just point of order.
Okay, thank you, you're right. Okay, let's move on. Mr. Polk.
I would like an individual to be able to serve on more than one board.
Okay.
So in regards to the language of the proposal, I guess what I'm saying is I would reject the proposal.
Okay, so no.
So that would be a no.
I would want the individual to be able to serve on more than one board.
Right.
Okay, no for Polk. Wilkins,
Yes.
Arnold,
No.
and Brown.
No.
Motion fails.
Now we're moving back to the original motion.
And I believe that the motion has been made and it has been seconded, so at this point, all that is left to do is for the mayor to call for a vote and the clerk to call the roll.
Okay. So this is the original ordinance adoption that we talked about at the last meeting and voted on. Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Absolutely. Flack,
No.
Hasley,
No.
Polk,
So this would be voting on the ordinance as it is presented in the packet. With the
So
language,
this is, and we voted.
Point
on
of
this.
order.
with the language, an appointed member shall not hold another municipal office except that one of the appointed members may be a member of the zoning board of appeals stricken. So it would have the effect of allowing a member of the planning
Point of
commission
order.
to serve on additional committees.
It would allow,
It would allow.
and that would be a vote of,
If you were intending, based off what you're hearing, if you want the ordinance to be adopted as it is presented in the packet to allow members to serve on more than one board, it would be a vote of yes on the ordinance at this vote.
my vote is yes.
Thank you.
Wilkins,
No.
Arnold,
Yes.
Capps,
Yes.
and Brown.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Moving on, new business.
Madam Mayor, I would ask for future discussion exactly what can occur during the vote. It's not clear to me that how the votes were taken tonight
Okay.
completely complied with the Roberts Rules of Order.
Okay. Number 13, the city council will be asked to consider approval of the following special event applications. A, special,
Wait, looks like we skipped number 12.
whoa, sorry. The city council will be asked to consider adoption of an ordinance to amend sections 14-501, 14-502, and 14-505, Chapter 14 of the Code of Ordinances for the City of South Haven. Kate.
Thank you, Mayor. As we discussed last time at our COW, as well as the city council meeting where we introduced this item, these are changes being proposed because of the backlog that we have for the new short-term rental ordinances. We are proposing to have a conditional license being issued by the end of the year so that we can square up with the short-term rentals and make sure that they comply with the ordinance. Dave?
Thank you, Kate. Just a procedural issue, because I know we're all learning our new rules of procedure. Following the staff's introduction, the mayor may call for a motion. If the motion is seconded, the mayor would then open it up to debate. Each member may speak no more than twice on the question for no more than a total of 5 minutes. Of course, other members may ask other members questions, but if a member responds, that would count towards if the other member wanted to respond, or if they ask staff a question and staff responds, that would count towards the member's time who is asking the question.
Thank you. Okay,
But
we're moving on. What's your question?
but that doesn't really address the point of order that I raised about talking during the roll call vote.
We're moving on. Kate, number 12?
Yes, so this is the second reading of the short-term rental ordinance amendment that we would be looking for an extended time to get these applications and licenses out the door. We also address the insurance requirement. As we know, the new ordinance does qualify all short-term rentals as commercial entities, and they are required to have commercial insurance. I know that's a tough one because they're used to having residential insurance, but that is a requirement of the ordinance. We are striking the language out that requires each and every occupant or user of the short-term rental to be indemnified. We found that with several of our insurance agents who have contacted us and said that that's just not possible. So those are the two changes that are being proposed in this ordinance amendment.
Any questions? Is there a motion?
I motion to adopt an ordinance to amend sections 14-501, 14-502, and 14-505, Chapter 14 of the Code of Ordinances for the City of South Haven.
Support.
Any discussion? Member Hasley.
So in discussion with, I move to amend, let me see, I move to amend the proposed ordinance to amend section 6227 of the Code of Ordinance for the City of South Haven by inserting in section 14-502C after have been submitted, inserting by June 1st, 2026.
Are you on number 12?
Yes, I am. And this language appears on page 131.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Discussion?
So,
Member Hasley.
yes. In reviewing this, it appears unclear to me by when an application has to be filed, the complete licensing application, and also the zoning compliance determination application had to be filed. It just it said have been submitted. It didn't say by when. In discussions earlier today, it appeared that it's being interpreted to allow applications for this conditional license to be filed up through the end of the year. And the whole purpose of the ordinance that was passed on March 17th, 2025 was to have things in place by May 1st of 2026. And all licenses that have granted, or registrations that granted under the old law that gave them that opportunity are to expire on May 1st of 2026. I have given them one additional month because of the backlog and all the uncertainties. But to be clear by when they have to have their complete licensing application and zoning compliance determination application filed to be considered for a conditional license, a firm date to me was the clearest way to do that, to avoid any expectation that they could file, they could maintain their license or let their license lapse, and avoid filing under the new law until December 31st of 2026. I think the whole intent of the old law was to get people into the new law, and the way to ensure that happens is to have it filed by a certain date.
Councilperson Hasley, could you repeat the date that you're suggesting?
I chose June 1st, 2026.
So
It's
just
1 month.
So just 1 month?
It's 1 month after all the licenses should expire. If I believe most of the applicants have already filed, this would be for those who have not yet filed.
I can tell you right now, I mean, if we only got through 20% and you're just giving us an extra 30 days, I think we're going to be back in this situation one more time.
No, this is when the complete licensing application and zoning compliance determination application has been submitted in order to qualify for the conditional license. It's not that the conditional license has to be issued by then.
So, if I may, Mayor. So, Mayor, just so I can paraphrase, make sure I understand what you're saying. What you're saying is you should have at least submitted your application to gain the benefit of a continuance or a extended license.
Yes, a conditional license.
A conditional license, and that should be completed by June 1st this year.
Yes.
Which is after licenses should have expired, so you would expect everyone to have it, and that's your proposal.
I'm giving them a month. But it's not when the conditional license, so that, what I'm amending is not what the conditional license is issued. It's when the applications to qualify for a conditional license.
So moving it from December back to June.
Well, it's not, so the conditional license may be issued, no conditional licenses may be issued after December 31st is when the conditional license issues. It's not when the applications do.
That became the inherent bookmark for me was December 31st. If you didn't submit anything, you have until then to get your conditional license approved.
Even if
So-
you hadn't filed anything.
Well, you'd have to file something before that date, and there's no date asserted, so it could be any time based on this up until the 31st of December is how I understand it.
Could we get another opinion from staff?
Well, I think we've got some comments over there. Kelly, Dave?
Yeah, we have comments.
Okay.
As we're learning our rules of procedure, I just want to be clear. Do you want us to speak as general staff comments at this time?
Sure.
Yes, okay. So I agree with Member Flack that the inherent deadline in the draft is December 31st, 2026. Member Hosley is correct that all the old licenses expire, I believe, May 1st of 2026. The reason we did not put a date in June or May 1st is that the requirement is that they submit a complete application. Sometimes it takes a couple goes to get a complete application. I think and it made sense, end of the year, it's clean. I think one thing to note that may assuage some of the concerns is that the applicant pool is the same regardless of where you set that date, and that if somebody was not registered under Article 10 of Chapter 10 on March 17, 2025, they are ineligible for a conditional license. So moving that date has no impact on the number of dwelling units that are eligible for a conditional license. Additionally, it gives staff the opportunity to work through any applications for a conditional license, allows members or individuals who are licensed and perhaps live out of state and haven't been following this issue as closely to realize, oh, my license expired May 1st and I have bookings in June or July, what do I do? Okay, well, there's a little bit of flexibility in there. And I think overall staff's concern is that if you pick a date other than really what the December 31st date, staff's going to come back and say, hey, we had a whole bunch of people who would qualify for a conditional license and they weren't paying attention, and now they're upset because they've got bookings and they're not licensed, they're not able to rent. Now, to be sure, there's some responsibility that has to happen to for an STR owner to realize, like, you got to be paying attention to the regulations. But from staff's perspective, because again, the application pool does not change, we don't really see a limit or a reason to be so limiting in terms of the deadline by which you have to apply. If your license expires in May, and some people may only realize that because their license expires in May and they're renting in July and they get a ticket because we're enforcing it and they now realize, oh, I wasn't licensed. Well, if that happens now, they have the opportunity until December 31st, 2026 to come and get licensed and come into compliance. Kelly?
I would agree. My concerns were well stated.
Okay,
Mayor, could I say one more thing?
one more.
I agree, David, with what you said, and knowing the complexities of this process and how onerous it is and the back and forth that you have to go through, what you said makes sense to me. I've been thinking through this issue today, and that's where I land on this one, is that it makes sense to not be punitive. It's a very onerous process. Our first time through percentages are very low right now, and I think we need all quarter given in terms of the time we have available. So those are my comments.
Okay. Roll call, please. And Member Hosley, did you mean to say section 6227 in your motion?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, roll call, please.
Hold on. I believe it's section 14502.
Oh,
So if I'm
Well,
understanding Member Hosley correct, it would be amending section 14502 sub C.
I can read what I wrote. I mean, I can,
Go ahead.
yeah. So what I had said was amend section 62.7 of the code for the city
Oh.
of South Haven by inserting in section 14-502C after have been submitted by June 1st, 2026.
Thank you. Okay, roll call?
Point of clarification?
What?
Point of clarification?
Yeah.
We're currently voting on Councilperson Housley's amendment, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Are we ready? Okay. Hasley,
Yes.
Polk,
Yes.
Wilkins,
Yes.
Arnold,
No.
Capps,
No.
Flack,
No.
and Brown.
No.
Motion fails.
Thank you. Now we're moving on to the original motion, which had a second. Correct.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Moved
Do
by
we need,
Capps, second by Arnold.
and it's time for discussion. Does anyone have anything they'd like to add? Okay.
I would like to ask a couple
Member Housley.
clarifications. So with this process, if someone has submitted their so can someone even submit an application if their home is undergoing construction and they do not have an occupancy permit?
It sounds like an individualized question that we would have to take into account individualized circumstances. An occupancy permit is something that's unique to new construction, and so it would depend on the state of construction at the time that inspection is due. So there are a lot of circumstances that would come into play, and I can't give a solid answer to that right now. It depends is the answer.
And for the hypothetical, if for some reason it came back that they were able to get a certificate, they would, and their property was otherwise uninhabitable, you could be in a situation where someone had a conditional license, but because of another issue, perhaps on the building side, they were unable to have occupancy. They still wouldn't be able to rent in violation of the building code.
It's just perplexing that they could have a certificate to rent a home that can't be occupied.
Are you talking about a brand-new construction, so we
No.
have to have a special land use? Because that's
No,
when
I
you
am-
get into
nope.
a certificate of occupancy.
So poor choice of words on my part. It's where the dwelling is under construction and a significant portion of it is being completely remodeled. And so that I just find challenging for a short-term rental permit or application to be filed and accepted when the dwelling is under construction and can't be lived in.
Any other discussion? Okay, roll call, please. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Capps.
I'm just thinking that, first of all, if it was under construction, they wouldn't rent it out. And you got to have a permit to do it, and you can't wait till it's done, and it'll be a conditional permit anyway, and they'd have to be inspected to get their regular permit, right?
An inspection is required for the
Yeah, when they're done with the work.
permanent
Yeah,
license,
yeah.
yes, or the two-year license.
Okay.
Okay. Excuse me, you've spoken twice.
Just once
Roll
they were
call,
answering.
please.
Point of order, they were answering my questions.
Does that count as,
So if staffer is answering Member Housley's question, that would count towards her time. I believe Member Housley has spoken twice, but I believe the first time around was simply the making of an amendment. If that is correct, then I would say that she's only spoken once, but all of her time has
elapsed?
And I defer to the clerk on how much time Member Housley has left on this question.
I guess I would ask for clarification, is the timing for each debate, for each motion, or is it?
No, each question, yeah,
Okay,
each
so
motion.
she still has 2 minutes and 54 seconds left. for
On this question.
For this motion, yes.
Go ahead.
And that's the concern, is that the conditional license doesn't have any inspection. And so I am very concerned that these amendments have eviscerated what we did in 2025, such that things can continue for almost another year, out to December 31st, 2026, from what we had done. And I, therefore, am not able to support this version, unfortunately.
Roll call, please.
Absolutely. Polk? This is on the original motion to adopt an ordinance to amend sections 14-501, 14-502, and 14-505, Chapter 14 of the Code of Ordinances for the City of South Haven.
Yes.
Wilkins,
No.
Arnold,
Yes.
Katz,
Yes.
Flack,
Yes.
Hasley,
No.
Brown.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Time for new business. The city council will be asked to consider approval of the following special event applications. A, special event application 2026-08, National Day of Prayer 2026, to be held on Thursday, May 7th, 2026, on the southern entrance and lawn of City Hall from 12 o'clock p.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. B, special event application 2026-09, Via Crucis 2026, to be held on Friday, April 3rd, 2026, from 5 to 7 p.m. around St. Basil's Church and along Monroe Boulevard between St. Basil's Church and Kids Corner Park. Is there a motion to approve those?
I move to approve special event application 2026-8 as read by the mayor and special event application 2026-09 as read by the mayor.
Support?
Any discussion? All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? The motion passes and these special events are approved. Thank you. Number 14, the city council will be asked to consider a conceptual plan for a memorial garden and fountain for City Hall and give feedback. Kate.
Thank you, Mayor. I have been approached by members of Shout that do like to do good works around town, and their idea was to install a fountain somewhere in the downtown. And we've been working on this with them and of course, incorporating some ideas from the veterans groups, American Legion, as well as a Medal of Honor winner, James McLuhan. This became a fountain, and of course, I was thinking about our front lawn, and it looks like some of our memorials, which are very nice, are just kind of scattered along the walkway. So we thought this might be a good project to kind of realign and imagine what that space could be. As we've kind of gone down this planning process, or at least kind of exploration of it, there's quite a bit of things that would be very nice, but as we've also seen, the ticket price is a little bit higher than I think that anyone had anticipated. I do know that Mr. Renner is here and would like to talk about the project and kind of get your feedback, so I'd welcome him to come up. This is something that's very near to dear to Bob and Tom, who like to do these beautification projects.
Good evening. Thanks for being here.
Bob regrets he can't be here tonight, but the weather said the best choice for him was not to risk it. He brings his greetings and asked me just to say a few words. For more than 20 years now, Shout for South Haven has embarked in a whole variety of different ways to the betterment of the community. Our slogan is to make a great community even greater. The most recent was the downtown Dyckman Park Fireplace Project, which I hope you will all agree it's just been a wonderful enhancement to the downtown area during the winter months. All of you who know Bob know he's a man of ideas, and we barely had turned the fireplace on, and he started saying, we need to do something for the other part of the park. How about a fountain? Well, more as we discussed it and really looked at how Dyckman Park is used, benefiting the activities in the pavilion, other activities that just seemed like a fountain in that east side of the park just wouldn't be really a practical thing to do. So we looked across the street at City Hall and came to the conclusion that a wonderful area east of the sidewalk, where presently right now there are some memorials scattered, is something very appropriately could be done as a tribute to the citizens of our community who have served our country, who have served our community as first responders. Would be really a nice thing to do. We sat down with representatives from the veterans groups and Mr. McLuhan and the Post 49 people, and they really have embraced this idea. Last week, we were privileged to talk to the members of the Parks Commission, and came away from that meeting feeling very encouraged by their very positive reaction to it. Shout is ready to make a pledge of $50,000 towards the project. When we originally were talking of the project, we were thinking of a project in the range of maybe $150,000. We were hoping to get a matching grant through the State Economic Development Program, which is something we got from them for the fireplace project, and it's a dollar-for-dollar match, and we are confident we can have a fundraising initiative to match that grant. Sticker shock hit us when we got the price estimate from the architect for the project. So we're still very, very much in the conceptual stage. We're not anywhere close to giving you something that we would ask you to vote for one way or the other. But we just wanted to make this very as public as we can. We think there'll be a great community support of it. We think our veterans and our first responders deserve it. We'd like to see a nice public place in front of City Hall. You just approved an activity on Memorial Day where they'll be standing on the sidewalk to do the reading in honor of veterans. And I can just kind of close my eyes and view when we get this new Memorial Plaza made, what an event like that is just going to be so much more meaningful. So with that, I've used my time. I, again, thank you for your service and would welcome any comments or questions from you.
Any questions? I have a question with fountains. Where does the water come from?
It would have to be on our water system service, so we would have to purchase the water. There's two schools of thought. One, it would just flow out. That's what we do at the splash pad. Or you could have a recirculating event, or recirculating pump. You would have to dig down and have a vault underneath or adjacent to the fountain. That was something that we had talked about in talking about our concepts.
And how much does that water cost?
It would be at the rate of what Shasta does. So we would be purchasing our water just as if we were any other Shasta customer.
Okay. So it's like the city is paying its own water bill?
Yes.
For the fountain?
Yes, we would.
Do you have an estimate of what that is?
I don't. I do know that.
We haven't gotten to the practical
Nitty-gritty.
sides of that yet.
Okay, thank you. Member Hosley.
Yes, I applaud this. I'm American Legion Auxiliary member, strong supporter of first responders. The ticket price, though, is very concerning. When we're at our committee of the whole meeting, we discussed a special assessment to help cover expenses for our first responders for Shays and South Haven PD. And we're continually told that staff is spread very thin. And it looks like this has been going on, I think, since October or so. So it's a lot of great information. I think it would have been helpful to have this possibly as a priority so that we could factor it into time for staff and also our finances. I applaud Shout for their continued efforts to make our community welcoming and relaxing. I just hope that we can, if this proceeds, the budget, that is the biggest concern, is budget and staff time involved. I think Griffin is who did the MEDC grant that we got, which would have been staff time. So it's just trying, as we spoke at the committee of the whole, with our priorities, we have to come up with priorities that staff have time to do, or prioritize time for that. So I'd like to see a bigger picture of all that and potentially a scaled back drawing that is much less financially burdensome. Or maybe do it in stages. I don't know if that's feasible.
Any other questions or comments?
Just a
Mr.
quick one,
Flack?
Mayor, if it's okay. Hey, Tom, thanks for presenting this. We appreciate it. I love the idea. I come from 30 years in Plymouth, Michigan, and the centerpiece of our town was a fountain, a big fountain in the park, and it was lovely. My question is, what is the vision as far as the timing that you all have to move forward with this? Are you
We
thinking?
haven't set a time.
Okay.
We're not trying to have, get something going without having all of the practical questions answered. Cost, staffing, long-term maintenance of it, all of that. Actually, I should remind Councilperson Housley, when we went to the fireplace project, you were very critical of us because we didn't come to the council and other boards before moving very far ahead. This time we've been sensitive to that, we feel, and I don't know what more we can do to please you. I can assure you that anything that is done will be done in the best interest of the community without a big financial burden on the community. I think people of this community are very generous, but if you kind of go into something like this with negative sense, it makes people like myself and Mr. Copping really feel, I don't want to say underappreciated, but that's kind of the way you always seem to come across. We have the community at heart.
Thank you. I love the drawings and the design plan, so I think it's very attractive. And it's always great to partner with a Bob Copping project. And, I'm interested in the costs.
Sure.
So, but otherwise, I think, it looks nice. I want to hear from city staff the best place for it. So, but the design plans are, this is not the first time I've seen it, of course, but I love the design. And it's one more thing that welcomes people to move beyond the sidewalk and sit down. People can eat their lunch around the fountain. So thank you for everything you've done.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you so much. Okay, moving on to number 15. The City Council will be asked to consider the following actions regarding redevelopment of the Overton site at 229 Elkenberg with dwelling place of Grand Rapids. Kate.
Thank you, Mayor. As we have recently passed an ordinance that allows us to draft a pilot ordinance, a pilot agreement, we have been doing just that. We have been working with Dwelling Place on the construction of a pilot agreement, and we believe that we've got something ready for the council to take action on. We do have a member from Dwelling Place who would be here to answer any questions, and we might want to do that before we open a public hearing in case there's anything we need to get out now. I'll need your name.
Yes, my name is Nathan Poole. I am the Director of Real Estate Development for Dwelling Place. Matt Schminsky has been up here previously representing Dwelling Place. He unfortunately could not make it tonight. I have been able to sit in on a few of the previous meetings, so I'm going to fill his role as best I can tonight. The pilot agreement that we have before you tonight is really a critical piece for us to be able to move forward with our application to low-income housing tax credits. The 9% tax credit round application is due April 1st, and so this is a very timely review and vote, both for item 15 and item 16 on your agenda. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. And one of the points I wanted to make specifically is that a pilot is a very critical tool for us financially on the operational side of affordable housing. We have very tight budgets to make all of these projects work. The pilot, as proposed, allows us to keep a balanced budget for the first 19 years on our operational projections, on our pro forma. If we have a higher pilot, makes it more difficult, doesn't make it impossible, but it does mean that we're going to have a gap that we'll have to fill. So that's the high-level overview. I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
let's move on to the public hearing, and then we'll do questions after that. Okay, thank you.
I make a motion to open the public hearing.
Support.
All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? We're now in public hearing. If any of you want to make comments about our dwelling place project in Overton, feel free to step forward.
I move to close the public hearing.
Support.
All in favor say yes.
Yes. Yes.
Opposed? Public hearing's closed. Now, council members, do you have questions?
Can we start out with a motion? May I start with a motion?
Sure.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-10, a resolution approving a payment in lieu of taxes agreement with the dwelling place.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion passes. And I just wanted to tell you how much we have enjoyed working with you, and we are so grateful to the dwelling place for choosing us and choosing South Haven. And we are a pro-housing city council. So just so grateful for you, and we're looking forward to continuing the project.
Thank you very much. We very much appreciate that, and we look forward to continuing this relationship.
Thank you so much.
And if I may, I want to acknowledge the dedication, because you drove here from the Grand Rapids area, correct, in a very bad storm.
I did, and I actually watched the state troopers close the southbound lane right behind my car as I was coming through.
Oh,
So
we'll have a safe trip home.
lots of incredible state troopers doing an awesome job out there right tonight.
Thank you. Okay, number 16, the city council will be asked to approve the proposed support letter for the Overton redevelopment project for dwelling places housing application to the Michigan State Housing Authority. Mishta. Kate.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. This is also in preparation for their application. Even though we pretty much are supporting the project by giving them a pilot, Michigan does like to see a separate letter of support. So this would be coming from the city council in support of the project.
Thank you. Any questions for Kate? Okay.
Are we getting letters of support also from like Representative Andrews and Senator Nesbitt?
I know that Michael's working on getting letters of support from a number of groups, including the Housing Commission and others.
And would it help from other organizations in our community to send in letters?
Any help would be appreciated. We would send all those letters right to, we can have them collected by Michael, and we can share those with Dwelling Place.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor, I motion to approve the proposed support letter for the Overton redevelopment project for dwelling places housing application to the Michigan State Housing Authority.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say yes.
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 Opposed? The motion passes. Thank you. Moving on to number 17, the city council will be asked to receive an update from Department of Public Works Director Dana Bird.
Yeah, good evening. I'll keep this brief because I know folks need to get home tonight and it's a little snowy out there. So kind of to the point of my update, there's a change of seasons going on that we're all preparing for, but in any given day, we don't know what season we're going to get in Michigan. So we've been talking a lot about spring leaf pickup and when we're going to plan that. We get a warm day, we get a lot of calls. So we're going to have a lot of upcoming press releases out when we do select days for those kind of seasonal transition type services. But right now, we don't have a date set. Today, we're talking about when do we show up to plow the roads tomorrow morning. So, but we also have bridge operations coming up. We did a successful soft start of the bridge. And so there'll be an upcoming announcement about when we have our staffing and everything in place for the seasonal dates for the bridge. We're doing a lot of onboarding with our parks, bridge tenders, beach enforcement folks. When we're not plowing snow, it seems like we're plowing sand. So we're always doing sand management. Appreciate the approval of the items on the agenda tonight to get the beach leveling going on. A lot of pothole patching has been occurring on warm days in the community. I do encourage people to contact our office if there is a particular pothole that's concerning in the community. Let us know about it. Our crews do, patrol the different roads, but it is helpful for property owners to let us know if there is a particular one that we either went by or haven't gotten to yet. So also we have a lot of upcoming construction. The month of March is filled with lots of meetings with me and my staff with upcoming either developments who are going to break ground on construction or just utility connections within the community. So Our staff sees growth and development happening with construction in not just the city, but also we're involved with the water, sewer utility, electric utility that serve the adjacent communities. So we do get very busy in March with a lot of those meetings. So speaking of construction upcoming, we did update our interactive construction map. I included the link in the packet there, and so as we have more dates available for specific things going on, we'll be updating that map if anyone's curious to go on and see what's going on in town. A couple other upcoming projects starting. We're going to have a traffic shift starting sometime in late March around Dykeman and Dunkley to do some water main work. And then we're also currently out for bid on some spring paving projects. So we're excited to see more construction happening in town and some more roads being resurfaced. So with that, I'm happy to take any questions.
Any questions? Member Hasley.
No question, but thank you. I want to thank you for responding to my inquiry about the door hangers, especially on second homeowners, and your explanation about the great lengths you guys go to make sure people are informed, and also kudos to your team for the addressing the power outage on the north side when that storm rolled in.
Any other questions? Mr.
Mayor,
Black?
just quickly, just Dana, thank you. I don't know how you keep track of all this stuff and keep up with it, but thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right.
Thank you so much. Drive safe. Okay. Number 18, city manager's comments.
Thank you, Mayor. I know that we've had a very successful COW this afternoon. Thank you very much for your attendance and, of course, giving your thoughtful comments on that. That is an effort that takes a lot of hands to lift it up. There's a lot of different people that are doing different things to make sure we're meeting our metrics and trying to get our program rolled out. I want to give a big thanks and a huge kudos out to Kim Wise, who's spearheading this, Chief Adam DeBoer, Matt Day, Michelle Argue, Dana Bird, Aaron Preeb, and Levi Skuka. We're doing a lot to parse out individual parts of that program so that we can get it going. I know that there's always people asking, what's the update? We're working on it, and of course, as we had our conversation today, that's things that we're going to be bringing back to this city council. But I wanted to give it the shout out because there's just so much that's being done by city staff. I do want to highlight that. Speaking of Chief Adam DeBoer, if you are heading north on I-196, you are not. It is closed, so we are using our units, our police units have been asked to close down the expressway. So it is bad out there, so I do hope people go safely home. Last thing I wanted to mention is that the MML has been talking about some housing bills that are coming out of Lansing. These are, while they sound like good ideas, we should all be concerned about preemption and state law being housing and zoning decisions being made from Lansing. It's not a one-size-fits-all. I would direct you to go to the MML website. There's several bills talking about minimum lot sizes, duplexes by right, and things like that. Well, I think those are always good conversations to have in a housing context in our community. Those are from very large bills that would be applying to all communities across the state of Michigan. And one thing we do like is local control, so we can figure out what works for our town. Anything to add, Mr. Eberly?
No, I would just encourage council members to check out the MML's website to get more information, and then depending on where you stand on those issues, feel free to share that information.
Thank you.
Those are my comments. Thank you.
Any other questions for Kate?
I have one question. In regards to the, what you were just talking about, the MLL,
Yep.
ML, how do you determine what fits South Haven?
Well, one of the bills is actually talking about minimum lot sizes, and they would go down to 1,500. Our lowest lot size of a conforming lot is 5,000 square feet. So going from a 5,000 square foot lot to a 1,500 square foot lot is a pretty big change. And that would be a lot of work, I think, to put smaller houses on smaller lots, knowing that we're kind of laid out and built out in a certain way.
Yeah, I don't think the concern is necessarily that these aren't topics worth talking about. I think the concern from Kate and I's position is that Lansing is proposing a one-size-fits-all across the state and doesn't allow local issues to stay local, and is also kind of part of a trend line of Lansing taking away a lot of local control over local issues.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Any other questions? Member Hasley.
Just one comment I heard from people as they were leaving from the committee of the whole is that when it's set up the way it was, which is conducive for us talking, they heard nothing. So it wasn't very engaging to the community, so maybe we could think, you could come up with a way to either have microphones for us or something, but that format wasn't helpful for the attendees. And also, congratulations, I saw in an email that Eagle, and I already knew about it, Eagle granted the city of South Haven $17,500 grant for updating our city's zoning ordinance to address coastal erosion via the shoreline protection strategy. So that's great for your staff.
It is, and we've been working on getting that. We can't really get into it until we get the master plan finished, so that's one of our things we'd like to get done.
Okay, moving on, mayor and councilpersons' comments. Member Wilkins.
Well, first, I want to say thank you to everyone who came out tonight. And second, I would like to say to Councilman Polk, if I came across disrespectful, please forgive me because I have a lot of respect for you. You've been my neighbor for almost 30 years, so I just did not agree with the comments. So I did not want it to come across that I was being disrespectful because I am not a disrespectful person. Thank you. Amen. But, and no, I do not talk a lot, but when I feel like I need to say something, I do try to say something. But those are my comments.
And I appreciate it when you do speak up.
Okay. Amen.
Mr. Capps.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank everybody for being here. A little update from the DDA that I've served on for a couple meetings. One, of course, everybody knows and can see the skate park is moving right along, and the DDA is kind of pushed for that and helps with the funding. And also, they're trying to get a new program going. It's still on the early stage, but they hope to get it done this year, where we'll have some funds for improvements of storefronts. They're hoping that they're kind of copying a program like this from Grand Haven, where downtown business owners can apply, and they'll do a 50-50 match. The numbers have not come in, but most of the time it's going to be about 40,000 will be the limit, and the DDA would match 20 of that. That may not happen. It could be smaller, and they're working on the numbers, but it should be a good improvement to help clean up downtown those businesses that would like some help or restoration.
Thank you. Mr. Flack.
Just a quick thank you, Mayor, to our city staff. The work that goes on biweekly is amazing. To pull the legal, the business cases, and all the things together that have to go into these packets is astounding. So thank you all. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Member Hosley.
Yes, so college, high school graduates, the deadline for the scholarship online platform has been extended to March 20th, so that's coming up. So parents, if you have graduating seniors, make sure they submit those applications. If you have questions, contact the high school counselor. The Scott Club through the Rotary, in honor of Carol Hodgman, is doing a concert tomorrow. Brian McClure at 1 p.m. at the Senior Services. If it's open, I'm concerned it might not be with school possibly closing. Some fun activities, March 21st, seed planting from 1 to 3 p.m. at Liberty Hyde Bailey Museum, which is free. And come out and support our music boosters on the 21st also for their Buccaneer Ball at Senior Services starting at 5 p.m. Congratulations to the athletes who competed. Special congratulations to Xander Duncan, who earned all-state honors in both 200 individual medley and 100-yard butterfly. Congratulations to everyone who were active, either actor, behind the scenes for the Olympians play. It was absolutely fantastic. Good luck to the robotics team at their competition this weekend. March 23rd, the Planning Commission is having a special meeting for some hearings, and hopefully we'll have the master plan back before us at our April meeting. And thank you, everyone, for coming out, and get home safely.
Mr. Polk.
Councilman Wilkins, I didn't take offense to your passionate reaction. I will say this. I believe that every member on this council is equally passionate about what they believe and want to do the best, make the best decision to serve this community, to respond to the concerns of our residents of this, the city of South Haven. We're all driven with the same passion. So I take no offense to that, but I think that let's just pool this passion and all move the same direction and make the best decision possible. Amen.
Thank you. Mr. Arnold.
I didn't really have any comments, but and Councilperson Huxley was talking about Xander Duncan, the swim team, the swimmers that went to state did very well. Bowlers went to state this year. 2 wrestlers went to state this year. We've had a pretty good year for the athletes this year. Those are my comments.
Thank you. Today, I was lucky enough to tag along with the 8th graders on their tour of manufacturing in South Haven. So we visited Food Tools, Vibroacoustic, Shays, and U.S. Tarp. And the most heartwarming thing was to see graduates from our high school who are working in these manufacturing places right here in their hometown. And one of them pointed out that he went to South Haven High School, and now he's just working a stone's throw away at Vibroacoustic. I also wanted to comment on diversity on boards and commissions. When I ran two years ago, increasing diversity was one of my goals. And while I've been mayor, and these numbers are a little bit old because we've already added some new people, the number of LGBTQ people on boards and commissions has increased by 100%. The number of women on boards and commissions has increased by 40%. People of color on boards and commissions has increased by 15%, and people with disabilities has increased by 100%. And these numbers are going to increase even more this year. So thank you for everyone who came here, and we're adjourned if there's no further business.